Truly, indeed, it's a wonderful moment in the nation's capital, Nigeria, capital city, Abuja. It's time for us to take a look at what's happening in the world of sport. And of course, on today's edition of the program, I'm not alone in the studio, but my name is Agbo Clayton Ayuk, and of course, with me is
Pius Idoko is my name, and thank you very much for joining us once again. It's Talk Sports.
Right here in the nation's capital, Abuja, let's go straight to stories that are making headlines. A new date for the National Sport Festival.
And indeed, of course, we'll let you know that beach soccer, a lot will be happening in beach soccer and futsal, as the secretary of the federation has hinted that a lot of changes will be coming up shortly.
Wheelchair Federation of Nigeria is expected in faraway Saudi Arabia.
Let's also let you know that as the Super Eagles of Nigeria, of course, will begin preparations. One man is not so happy with the list of players invited. Of course, for non-inclusion of home-based players, he's firing at those at the helm of affairs.
Mr. Tony of the Nigeria Olympic Committee will be joining us live from Lagos to tell us what is happening in the Nigeria Olympic Committee. Plus,
yes,
there's much talk about Nigeria Professional Football League, Pius.
Most definitely, the MPFL, we understand that VAR will be installed very, very soon. Well, some other revenue with this morning. Salah has been offered a mouth-watering deal in Saudi Arabia. That's on the international scene. Onana will also be speaking this morning on his return to the Cameroonian national team. Let's also let you know that Anthony of Manchester United is in the news for the wrong reasons.
All right, let's go straight with our first stop here. Is the office of the Honorable Minister of Sport talking about distinguished Senator John Owen Eno. Report reaching us says the Nigeria government has postponed the National Sports Festival once again to September 20 to 30. The body said the reason was to allow the host state put the best of facilities for the national youth game. Pius, this is the second time we are moving the national youth game to a different date but the same venue. You think the readiness of Asaba to host the 7th edition of the National Sport Festival, it's a reality?
Oh, very, very, very much. I think it's definitely going to be a reality, judging from what the sport minister said yesterday after he held a meeting with the president of the Athletics Federation and the man in charge of the youth games in Asaba, talking about Tonobok Okowa. It is believed that the champion, of course, the postponement is to serve as a precursor to Nigeria's 63rd independence anniversary. So they actually wanted to celebrate it in a grand style, and probably that's the reason why they decide to move it to a further date.
Let's hope that in terms of facility, the Delta State Sport Commission is doing everything possible to provide the best of facility for our young ones that will be in faraway Asaba State. We are told that a total of over 12,000 youths are expected to assemble for the 7th edition. The new date now is the 20th of this month to 30th of this month. And of course, a day after that will be the grand celebration of our great country, Nigeria. Perhaps an opportunity for distinguished Senator John Owen Eno to make official comment on the development of sport, Pius.
And of course, just so you know that that is definitely going to be his first official assignment when it comes to hosting of games in Nigeria ever since he assumed the position of the Minister of Sports Development in Nigeria. Is going to be his first major assignment. Of course, although he's going to be there when the Super Eagles takes on Sao Tome, but regardless, this might have a bigger weight considering all that will be involved as it concerns hosting such events. He's new to the terrain, but I do know for sure that he will hit the ground running with all the facilities in place. Delta State hosted the last National Sports Festival, and I don't think that playing host to the, talking about the youth games will be a big challenge to Delta State in Asaba. So we believe that everything will be in shape, everything will be in order to ensure that we have a successful 7th edition of the youth games that are coming up in Asaba at the end of this month.
Of course, the minister is also expected to have first-hand information himself when he will visit the Asaba Township Stadium and other facilities penciled down for the National Youth Games. Let's talk about the wheelchairs. They are on their way to Saudi Arabia, and Pius, you saw the champions heading to Saudi Arabia. Our expectation that with the best of facilities, Nigeria will qualify for the Olympic, because their trip to Saudi Arabia will also serve as a qualifier for Paris 2024 Olympics.
Most definitely, that's the reason why they're actually trying to channel all their energies to ensure that they get a qualification slot for Paris 2024. Nigerian wheelchair, of course, in time past, these are the people that have actually won us more laurels when it comes to the Olympics. They've done Nigeria proud on several occasions well, and I don't think they are going to struggle so much to get a ticket to represent Nigeria, to fly Nigeria's flag high next year at the Olympics. They've done it before, and I want to believe that they still have what it takes to do it yet again.
And Nigerians are hoping that the medals they made possible in the last Commonwealth Game will be another opportunity for Nigeria to celebrate when they will fly the green, white, green at the Paris game. One man who has been following the game is Amechi Abo. It's hoping that he will be joining us on the program this morning to give us the development and readiness for Team Nigeria, because it's a big qualifiers, and this qualifiers is home away from home. So we hope that he will be able to join us live to give us details about this. Let's come back home here and then talk about the beach soccer. It looks like all is set, the championship. Pius, you were with the secretary. Can you update us? How ready is the beach soccer competition?
Oh, very well. Anyways, so the secretary of beach soccer in Nigeria, talking about Abubakar Bade. He is the present secretary of the futsal beach soccer in Nigeria. He actually spoke to us yesterday and said that Nigerians should expect a whole lot from the federation coming up. And so members of the Nigeria Futsal and Beach Soccer Committee, he actually vowed that they will expedite action in a bid to revive and to reposition the sport in Nigeria. And so all lovers of the game will have a future and a chance to transition from playing beach or futsal into the mainstream or conventional football according to the plans they have on ground. Of course, we have Bade also joining us on the show this morning. Let's listen to what he has to say.
Beach soccer, it has its president, by name Mahmoud, and he's been doing very well. And there is a structure already on ground for beach soccer. Though the sport has not been maybe like having the right publicity, but it's ongoing, and by the grace of God, with this secretariat, we will do as much as possible to see that Nigerian youths are taking on the streets, and those that have passion for football are going to be engaged. We'll take it to the next step. For futsal, futsal was in Nigeria in 1992. I think the last time they participated in any competition was 1992. Since then, there hasn't been any structure for futsal on ground. But as it is now, I think futsal too is going to have its president and structure. And as the secretary of the committee, we will see what we can do. I will liaise with our committee members on that. We are going to invite the members very soon. But we have a chairman, the secretary, there's the vice chairman as well. So when we come together, we will see how futsal is going to also penetrate, Nigeria. And futsal is a game where you have a five-a-side. Locally, people are interested in football. They have been just playing for pleasure, but this time around, FIFA has made it official, where young people are going to get engaged, and there will be local league, there will be CAF, and there will be international competitions as well. So with this committee, I want to commend the leadership of President Inzonso, who was very thoughtful about making futsal a very engaging sport where people on the street are going to be, especially those young people that are doing nothing, who engage them and see how they will be engaged and also have a future where from futsal they can grow to our conventional football. So Nigerians are expected to see a lot of changes. This from both the presidents of futsal and beach soccer. So they will see good things coming and they will see a lot of engagement. And at the end of the day, I think we make sure that we take it and put it where it ought to be.
Thank you very much. That's the Secretary of the Beach Soccer giving us inside development and preparation as far as beach soccer is concerned in Abuja. Pius, the Secretary is very, very optimistic and looking at the venue, of course, we'll say the Jabi Lake is one of the venue for here in Abuja. Are there plans to make it a world-class center for that will attract more players into the beach soccer industry?
Yes, if I get him correctly, that was one of the things he actually highlighted. He said they are looking for ways, they will definitely come together as a committee. They will come together to brainstorm on ways to, make the sport become very popular in Nigeria. He did say something. He said the last time futsal competed in any event was as far back as 1992. And ever since then, I mean, futsal, beach soccer has actually been in the forefront of recent, but futsal has not been in any way near anything that Nigerians will want to reckon with. And that is what they want to do right now. They want to channel their energy to ensure that futsal becomes very popular. He said that FIFA has also given them the seal of approval that the sport will become a well-known, well-organized. They will organize leagues, they will organize competitions at the international level. So I think this is an opportunity for others who cannot play the mainstream football, as it were, at the moment. I think they can actually take to futsal and see where their career will blossom from there.
If you're just joining us, the program is Talk Sport right here on Global TV. We're coming away from Nigeria's capital city of Abuja. Let's take a break. When we come back, we go straight to more stories. We're told that Sao Tome has named a 21-man squad against the Super Eagles. Don't go away. Welcome back to the program right here in the nation's capital, Abuja. Is Talk Sport on Global TV, and I am Agbo Clinton.
Welcome back to the show. Of course, Pius Idoko is my name, and we're still looking at issues trending in the world of sports.
Let's take you straight to Akwa Ibom State. We are told that a 21-man squad for Sao Tome will hit Nigeria for the game against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. The two teams will be battling for academic purpose, of course, Nigeria is already through to the next stage of the championship, talking about the participation in the African Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast. The battleground is between Sierra Leone and Guinea. Which team you think would join Nigeria to the next stage? But perhaps let's look at bringing the best of 21-man squad for a team that suffered 10 goals were scored in their home. Today they are playing home away from home. They are playing in one of the best grounds for the Super Eagles. You think the 21-man squad will deny Nigeria a point?
Absolutely not. I don't think that Sao Tome has grown to that. Even if you gather players from the domestic league, from Enyimba, from Kano Pillars, from Katsina United, put them together, and then to go play against Sao Tome, I do believe that they should be able to come out with an outright win against the Sao Tome side. So that game is still going to be an outstanding victory for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, judging by the list of players invited to prosecute this game. I mean, it looks as if Jose Peseiro is already preparing for the Nations Cup, because it's a dead rubber game. Nigeria doesn't really need this game. It's a dead rubber game. Any other person would have said, give this chance to the home-based players to showcase themselves against Sao Tome. But then the Nations Cup is just around the corner. And this is the time for him to begin to gel with the players more, for them to know themselves more, because new players have also been introduced, brought or invited into the team. So I think it's the best steps, the best thing he has done. They should go all out. They shouldn't take it for granted. They should go all out to begin their preparation towards next year's Nations Cup in earnest.
Super Eagles is ensuring that professional players in this match, but some are saying that perhaps there should have been room for the home base, what we call Team B, to be part of it. Pius, let's look at the powerful squad from the Super Eagles. The squad has the likes of Kelechi on the list to face Sao Tome and Principe. Kelechi is doing wonderful. I'm talking about Kelechi Iheanacho, who is in Leicester City. He's doing very, very well. And of course, Samuel Kichuku is also in Man City. This squad is too much for Sao Tome.
Most definitely. That was why I said I feel Peseiro has officially started his Nations Cup preparations, because you look at the forwards alone, matches, he's been able to score 5 goals. Gift Orban, in 6 matches, he has scored 4. And then we have Taiwo Awoniyi. In 4 matches, he has scored, or in 3 matches rather, he has scored 3. Victor Osimhen, same. 3 matches, 3 goals. Ademola Lookman, Moses Simon, Samuel Chukwueze, Kelechi Iheanacho. So it's a killer squad. I do believe that Sao Tome will not survive this.
Because the big boy himself is not included in the list. I'm talking about the starting captain for the Super Eagles. Many have said that since he's already in Nigeria, he should be part of that. So he will be sitting, not even on the bench, perhaps monitoring the situation in faraway Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital. Nigeria is doing everything possible also to top the group, because Sierra Leone and Guinea are also getting set for that. Let's look at the defense. Pius, you want to look at such a solid defense for Sao Tome and Principe. Looking at the likes of great players, of course. Kelvin Bassey is another great player. You wouldn't want to say he shouldn't have been on this list.
Kelvin Bassey, obviously, he's been a revelation for the Super Eagles ever since he was discovered, and since he started from his days at Rangers, he moved to Ayers, and now we have him at Fulham in the EPL. I think his progress has been steady. A lot of people will be looking forward to his Jordan Tonariga. He recently switched his allegiance from Germany to start playing for the Super Eagles, and because our national team handlers have also been keeping their eyes on him, they believe he's definitely going to be a good addition to the team, and that's why he's been drafted into the team. So I believe that all the players invited are players in their best form, and they should be able to give Nigeria the very much needed result. You know, the minister also said they should give it to him as a parting gift, or rather as a welcome gift.
Okay, let's welcome you to the standings across the continent for the CAF Champions League. Let's go straight to Group A, where the Super Eagles of Nigeria are currently topping the group very, very high. And at the bottom of the group, we have Sierra Leone and Guinea will be at the bottom. In Group B, of course, it's Group B, A, B, C, D. up to L. In Group L, we have Senegal as well as Madagascar. Madagascar will be bouncing back to the continental level if they make their next match, which will be against Rwanda. And of course, Benin Republic is at the bottom of the group. In Group K, you have Morocco. The Atlas Lions of Morocco are sure to qualify, while in Group G, Tunisia is also leading that group. The Mighties in Africa are leading their group. The Indomitable Lions of Cameroon need an outright win to qualify for the next year's edition of the African Cup of Nations. And Pius talking about Cameroon, Onana has finally penciled down his acceptance to be part of the Indomitable Lions in the match which will be played named after a former player, Olembe Stadium. That's the venue for that match. You saw the unveiling of Onana in Yaoundé, Cameroon. It was like the big master is back, what we call Oga the Top.
Oh yes, Onana has been in great form since he moved from Inter Milan to join Manchester United, and I also want to believe that he's also he still has a lot you know, to offer the Cameroonian national team. Unceremoniously, he was asked or yanked off the team while they were at the World Cup in Qatar 2022 because of a little rift between him and the head coach, talking about Rigobert Song. I think they've settled whatever rift that was there, and they've handed him a return back to the national team. It's a good one, and I think it's going to be a good one for the Cameroonians. Of course, for the fact that they still have a game to play, and this game is the final game they should be playing. It will decide their fate whether they will qualify for the Nations Cup or not.
All right here in the nation's capital, Abuja, it's time for us to go. We are told that our guest is already standing by to join us. Mr. Francis Obi is on the line. Mr. Francis, good morning and welcome to Global Television. Nice to know you, and we are happy this morning you are joining us all the way from Lagos. We need to say a big thank you for joining us. But tell us much how ready you are. Nigeria is looking up for your team, and we are told that you are preparing. Tell us about your championship.
The championship has...
Well, the championship ended on Saturday, the 6th Lagos International Badminton Championship, and I mean, it was a very successful outing.
We saw how the event went down in Lagos. Everything went well. You hosted, so many countries came to Nigeria. A Brazilian actually came and won the prize, the most glamorous prize in the 6th edition of the Lagos Badminton Classics. Of course, one man that Nigerians were looking forward to. I'm talking about Oluwakbo Okpeyori. He was knocked out in the quarterfinals of the competition. Give us a general overview of how these athletes were able to turn out from different countries and how you've been able to host a successful edition, 6th edition of the Badminton Classics.
Well, like you said, it was the 6th edition, and coincidentally this year, it was an Olympic qualifier. So that is why you had about 30 countries that came in for this championship, because everybody now is in the race, you know, running to garner as much points as possible to position themselves to qualify for the Paris 2024. So that was what was basically responsible for the high turnout of the countries. And you mentioned Anu Oluwakbo Okpeyori, yes, African #1, current African champion, and of course, Nigerian #1 and current Nigerian champion. He was knocked out in the quarterfinal by the Brazilian, who eventually won the championship. And it will interest you to know that in their first game, they actually played deuce, and the Brazilian won 24-22, which was a very tight game. We could have been anybody's game. And after that quarterfinal, the Brazilian moved on to the finals and won the championship. But it may also interest you to know that in the history of the Lagos International Badminton Classics, I mean, in the 5 past editions, no African has gotten to quarterfinals in this event, in this championship. So I tell people that A lot of people ask, oh, we host this event every time and the foreigners come and they cut away the prize money, they win and all that. I tell them, go back to when we started in 2014. We were knocked out in the qualifiers. We were not even getting into the main draw. But now we are getting into the main draw. We are getting to quarterfinal. I believe that sometime very soon, a Nigerian will be on the podium in this championship.
Yes, President, let's look at the plans you have to make this game a household name. Now that you are also looking at Paris 2024, what are the plans to make this game a popular game beyond what it is now in Nigeria?
Well, we have a pet project very dear to our hearts as a board. It is called Shuttle Time. Basically, this project was conceived by the Badminton World Federation, the BWF, and it's meant to be a grassroots program, taking badminton back to schools. So we had a pilot scheme sometime this year. Yeah, it was launched a few years back in Nigeria, but after that, it didn't really take off. So this year, we went to Ikene, where we had the pilot scheme. So we had about 20 secondary schools, and each school came with about four students and a games master. And for 3 days, we took them through the basics of this game, and then we also taught the goal to be able to teach the children. And at the end of it, we donated rackets, nets, and shuttles to them so that they can go back to their schools and let the game take root. So from there, we moved to Nnewi. From Nnewi, we moved to Ilorin, and from Ilorin, we moved to Zaria. As we speak, we are heading